Natural world in the Quran is called a revelation. Literally, it's a revelation. So scientific pursuit is actually unveiling the meanings of a revelation from God to humankind.
Hamza Yusuf is an American-born teacher and student of Islam.
In the Islamic tradition, knowledge is the birthright of the human being. That every human being is endowed with not only the desire, but the right to seek. For a human being in Arabic, the root meaning of it is the one that needs intimacy. That human beings by their nature are creatures of society. We are social creatures. The family is the root of human society in the sense that this is where we get our socialization. This is where we get our humanity. Word for guilt in the Arabic language. What Islam does clearly define, though, is the parameters in which intimacy can exist. But in terms of actual acts, these things are seen not only as natural, but they are seen as God-given sources of human pleasure, and that they should not be denied. They should only be contained within healthy persons. Those of you who do not show mercy are not shown mercy. So the Islamic society is one that is expected as an essential element in its humanity to show mercy to others. He allowed people to literally, quite literally, be themselves, but again within guidelines and parameters. So he had this vast array of people around him. He had Arabs, he had non-Arabs, he had blacks, he had light-skinned people. He had blind. What zakat is. It is saying everybody do their little share, and look at how incredible and synergistic the power of that little share that you are doing when it is compiled with all of these millions of human beings. The World Bank states if 2.5% of the world's grain was put in a repository and then redistributed amongst the poor, there would be no starving people in the world. The Islamic tax of grain is 5%. And 10% if you didn't use irrigation but rain. Just the tax of grain, if that was implemented, we would not have conditions like Somalia, we would not have conditions like Ethiopia, we would not have a situation where 40,000 people die every day. Benefits from fasting. The most obvious benefit is that one literally learns to restrain his passions. Hunger is a source of human passion. If we learn to discipline ourselves in those things, we can discipline ourselves in big things. The idea of it as a unifying factor, one, it unifies us with poor people. You can pity a poor person, but you don't empathize with them until you have experienced what they've experienced. So the fasting unifies you with people that are less well off than you are. And that encourages you to want to help those people. And people that look at fasting from the outside often think of it as, why would you want to give up food for that period of time? Fasting is the time in the Muslim world that everybody hates when it ends. So a lot of people don't like it when it begins, but then after a few days, they don't want it to end, because it's such an extraordinary experience, and people can only enjoy that if they've experienced it.